Hello and welcome back to the Arc Gameco channel and to episode 2 of the Madden 09 All-Madden Cupcake Challenge. My name is Mike, and between the hiring of our coaching staff and the draft, we've got a lot going on. Now, I spent the last few days doing a deep dive into both the roster and the draft, and we'll get into all that in a little bit. But to start things off, we have to act on GM decision number 1 from episode number 1. Which head coach do we hire to lead the Miami Beach Murder Hornets? I would absolutely love to improve the offensive line, and adding a solid quarterback in Thigpen makes plenty of sense, but after considering our personnel and the coaching options available, I feel that this team needs to go in another direction. But first, here's a quick glance at the defensive personnel we inherited. Now, looking at this list, Corin Coles, solid skill set, maybe a number 2, number 3 corner. Earl Hand stands out, talented player, good size, strength awareness, block shedding. Clarence Haynes, our free safety, he's going to be a key player for us. Lomas Hobbs, maybe as a rotational 3-4 defensive tackle. David Lewis has some skills to point out. And a quick note on this, a plus attribute means 75 or over, and a parentheses plus attribute is someone who is 70 to 74. So I felt that was kind of an important break point to note here. We got Mike O'Donnell, the middle linebacker that's 5'8", 208, now playing safety. He's a guy that can play safety towards or closer to the line of scrimmage, but he won't, in my opinion, or he shouldn't be getting a lot of time playing deep. He just lacks speed in every single possible way. And then you got Percy Santiago. He's a plus block shedder and has decent zone coverage. So I like that as a complementary outside linebacker for this defense. I think that could work. And based on these personnel, I feel that the best look for these players is a 3-4 defense. And the coach, from the 5 that stood out to me immediately, was Dick LeBeau. Coach LeBeau was known for his strong 3-4 defenses in Pittsburgh, and I feel that he would be the perfect coach to lead the Murder Hornets. He was known for his durability and skill as a defensive back for the Lions during his playing career, and ran a strong zone blitzing 3-4 defense, so I think we could build this team in his image. Earl Hand at one end spot, and maybe we've got a guy like Bernie Lincoln moved from D tackle to D end, good tackling, good block shedding, decent strength, maybe at the other. That leaves a hole in the middle. We'll have to find a D tackle in the draft, and there are a few that I'm interested in. But again, I think we have the makings for a group there. And I think we can try to make that work with a coach like Dick LeBeau. So we're going to go ahead and hire Dick LeBeau to be the head coach of the Miami Beach Murder Hornets. So here we have Coach Dick LeBeau, +3 cornerback awareness, +2 free safety zone coverage, and +2 strong safety tackling. I feel that those boosts work really well with our personnel and our skill set and the defense we're trying to run here. We're going to go ahead and offer him the head coaching position on a juicy 5-year deal. We'll bump this bad boy up because it's imaginary money, and I want him to be happy. I want him to like it. So here we go. He accepts. That's fantastic. As for the rest of the coaching staff, I'm not going to stack position groups. So, for example, I'm not going to sign another secondary coach on defense. If I was going for quarterbacks, I wouldn't hire an offensive coordinator that worked with quarterbacks. I think it's kind of a little cheesy. And I'm also not going to go crazy here with the players we sign. I don't want to be excessive. So a guy like Billy Davis, I think, makes sense. Middle linebacker awareness, and then tackling on the outside. I think that's the guy we're going to go with, the defensive coordinator. Try to boost some of these players in that 3-4 defense. I think that makes a lot of sense, especially his boost for middle linebacker will affect 2 players, because 2 middle linebackers, I think that's a good fit there. And then offensive coordinator, I do want to go quarterback, and I'm not going to go and grab the best one out there. I think it's kind of cheap. If we didn't decide to go with Josh McDaniels or Tom Moore, I think we have to just kind of take a guy who's a little lesser in that department. And Troy Calhoun, he's got the glasses, got the mustache. I think Troy Calhoun as an offensive coordinator fit is a good one for this team as well. We'll go ahead and get the top training staff at +10 injury is great. Franchise scouts, no, we won't. No, we'll go the lowest scouting group here to strain the system a little bit. So the coaching staff is in place. Coach Dick LeBeau is going to be the head coach of the Miami Beach Murder Hornets. He's going to bring that that aggressive 3-4 zone blitz defense here to Miami Beach. And I think it makes sense. I think when our secondary guys fit zone coverage, when you look back at the player list, Corin Coles is a plus zone coverage player, Clarence Haynes plus zone coverage, even guys like Percy Santiago on the outside, a parenthesis plus zone coverage linebacker, and another piece here, Mike O'Donnell has plus zone coverage as a more in the box safety. I think that makes sense. Jeremy Irvin at linebacker, also a parenthesis plus zone coverage guy. So, and Tyrell Gooden as a backup safety as a plus zone coverage player. So I do think the zone coverage for this team makes a lot of sense. So we're going to go ahead and advance here. We have to do some re-signings. We're going to re-sign most of the talent. Again, we have to keep a full roster in case injuries strike during the game. So let's re-sign most of the players. Obviously, no retirements here. Our players are all very young. So I'm going to go ahead and re-sign these guys, and I'll be right back. Now, here's a quick look at the players we have on defense, the pieces we inherited, and how that may look in a 3-4 defense. And I added some adorable colors to this to make it look nice. Green, yellow, red. Green means I feel good about this player in the defense. Yellow, I can make it work. They've got attributes that I think can benefit this team in some way. And red, those are players in those positions that make me sad. I see those guys out there, and I get sad because they shouldn't be on the field if we're trying to be competitive on All-Madden difficulty. So Clarence Haynes, obviously feel great about him. Earl Hand, 3-4 defensive end, that's great. Lomas Hobbs, I did an upgrade there. Jeremy Irvin, although he has some skill sets, he'd be great as a rotational piece. I need an upgrade there. Bernie Lincoln, Bernie's okay. Tackling, block shedding, parenthesis plus strength, good size, which is why I like the thought of having Bernie Lincoln at left end and then Percy Santiago playing outside of him at left outside linebacker. I think with Percy Santiago's plus block shedding, I could have him play close to the line, help with the left edge with Bernie Lincoln, and that should be able to set that for us against the run, which is incredibly important. If you can't stop the run in this game on All-Madden, they will pound it down your throat. So the goal here is Percy Santiago and Bernie Lincoln together setting that far edge. Now, I would like a right outside linebacker that can get pressure. I think speed in some capacity at that position for a 3-4 is just necessary somewhere. You have to have it coming from somewhere, disrupting the play. So Victor Figgins, I don't think, is a starter or should be a starter if we're trying to be competitive. We'll be looking to upgrade that position in the draft somewhere. And then David Lewis in the middle. David Lewis is a very slow player, but as a 3-4 linebacker, I'm not entirely concerned about that. He is a strong player with parenthesis plus tackling, finesse moves, block shedding, and pursuit. Hopefully he's someone that can clog the middle and disrupt running lanes and try to play close to the line. You've also got Corin Coles, again, we talked about. I think he works as a third corner. So again, I like to try to find another corner in the draft somewhere that can start, along with Josilio Hansen, who the hiring of Dick LeBeau allows us to sign Josilio Hansen as a free agent, which I think is massive, right? You immediately have an average number one cornerback. And if we can add someone else in the draft somewhere, we're looking at a secondary of Josilio Hansen, drafted player, and Corin Coles as our top three. So I'm very comfortable with that top three. I think that's a pretty strong grouping considering where we're starting from. In the secondary, I need to find another safety, a strong safety. It has to happen. It's not going to work with Mr. Rich Rutledge back there. Clarence Haynes, obviously a stud. He's going to get +2 free safety zone coverage. So with Coach LeBeau, so I think he's going to be a key player for us. So again, this is how the defense looks right now. Areas to upgrade, I need to get a safety. I'd like to get an outside linebacker of some sort. And then a defensive tackle, I think, is extremely important if you're going to try to pull off this 3-4 look with limited personnel. Now, speaking of the draft, I did a deep dive into the prospects available for this draft. I looked and wrote down players that had a positive injury report. And here are my findings. Not very pretty. My 3-year-old tried to help there with the scribbles in the middle, but these are the players that I found at key positions that had a positive injury report. And there are 2 exceptions on this list. There is Darnay Stallings at wide receiver. It did not mention his injury report or his injury rating in the scouting report, but he's 6'4", 229 with 19 bench rep presses. Now, I told myself it had to be taller than 6'4" or taller and then 230 or heavier, but with the 19 reps, which is the most at his position, I feel that Darnay Stallings moving to tight end is within the realm of reasonable, and so I will be looking to add him. Now, it does say a 4th or a 5th, but with his skill set, he's also a very fast player. I don't think he lasts until the 4th round. And if I miss out on him, I feel like I am in trouble in this little exercise here. So I'm going to pencil Darnay Stallings in for our 3rd round pick. I think it almost has to happen there. And then also at the top of the draft, Gene Hunter looks to be the best player available. And he is. He's the best player available. His injury report is solid. Now, if it wasn't solid, I would not be considering him. But Gene Hunter has a solid injury report. And he's got cut and dry the best skill set. You get guys like Chad Barnett, Darnell Moy, and Jason McMillan also in the 1st round. Decent injury reports, each of them. I just don't think, based on the personnel in this challenge, I can pass on Gene Hunter at number 1. And thankfully, with the hiring of Dick LeBeau, we get a legit number 1 corner in Josilio Hansen. So, although I would love to trade down and add 2 more players, I don't think I can justify making that move and missing out on a talent like Gene Hunter. So we're going to pencil Gene Hunter in at the 1st overall pick. Now we still have the 2nd, 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th. The players I'm looking at: quarterback, running back, wide receiver, defense, and defense. So here is that list simplified. The draft targets I was looking at. I broke them down by projected round, position, and I also have their injury report information there to reference. And again, you've got Darnay Stallings there in the 4th, 5th. Don't know his injury, but he's a must-have player. Otherwise, guys like Devin Shields, great speed, great zone coverage. He fits just way too well. And then a defender like Damian Doss in the 3rd round at defensive tackle. He's got a solid injury report. He's a big boy, got good bench reps, good block shedder, good strength. So I think a Damian Doss in the 3rd makes sense, although I can't use the 3rd round pick there. If he's a guy that fell to the 4th or 5th, that would be pretty crazy. Other names that stood out: Conrad Strickland, a middle linebacker. Looks strong, but again, we need someone with speed on the outside, so who knows if we're going to go that route. All right, we're at free agency here. Chad Johnson, 97 overall. Wouldn't that be nice? But that is not in the cards for Miami Beach. We're looking at a guy like Josilio Hansen, 78 overall. He's looking for a job opportunity. That's exactly what we have. 68 awareness, slightly lower than I'd prefer, but 87 man, 84 zone. Just strong all around. 90 injury is great. So we're going to go ahead and offer Mr. Hansen a pretty fantastic deal here to be the captain of this defense and help the rebuild of the Murder Hornets. We'll go. All right, let's go to 20. Yeah. It's a little more than he was seeking, and we're happy to hand it to him. So 5-year deal there. We'll sim one day, making sure the deal sticks. And there we go. So Josilio Hansen, captain of the defense, signed because of the Dick LeBeau hiring. Now we're going to get to the draft. All right, I'm going to throw these up on the screen, but what we're looking at here: quarterback, got to add a running back somewhere. I need a wide receiver at some point, although later in the draft is fine. We need to get Stallings in the 3rd. He is our tight end. Extremely important player for me. And then we're going to sprinkle in 3 defensive players as we go. But again, you look at the stats here at the quarterback position. You've got Gene Hunter. I mean, that chart's beautiful. He's got speed, awareness. 4.55 is good. 13 bench rep presses even, but it says, ball security is a concern, but it's arm strength. May see a small amount of injuries, but they wouldn't worry. Confidence, I feel like this guy is the player. When you look at the drop off and just ability here, even a John Mike Nichols also will fumble and will be lucky if he stays healthy through the preseason. I just can't have that for this team. We need players that are going to be on the field. So, first overall pick, you got that chart, you got that player, got the name, Gene Hunter, right? So, we're going to go ahead and grab Gene Hunter here. First overall pick for the Miami Beach Murder Hornets, the franchise quarterback, Gene Hunter. And as we sim here, we'll take a look at who goes next. Ruben Steele went there. Stacey Matthews off the board. Quarterbacks tend to fly off the board pretty quick, which that the math checks out there. In the second round, I'm looking at Devin Shields. Just his zone coverage ability, and I'll go pull him up. The zone coverage ability with this guy, with his positive injury report, are just hard to ignore. Almost maxed on zone. And we've got a 4.35, 3.90 shuttle. It's just rarely injured. Not a great jumper, but smooth, fast. He's a hard guy to ignore. You look at a guy like Alfred Pritchett. No mention of injury, which makes him a risk. And I really can't stomach leaving this draft with a guy who has 50 injury rating and hoping he can somehow stay on the field. Now, obviously, if Ty Bannister falls, which he won't, he's a top 5 pick. But if he falls, Ty Bannister's the pick. He's got to wait. He's got an injury report comment, which is positive. A little slower maybe, but it looks like his zone coverage and his acceleration is on the higher side than Devin Shields. So we're going to go ahead and sim up here. Each pick. Oh, there he goes. Ty Bannister's off the board. That's okay. We're going to sim each pick here and see what happens at the top of the second round. All right, on the clock in the second round, Chris Johnson is still here. A 4.35, 4.06 40-yard dash and shuttle guy. High tackling, good play recognition, good pursuit, decent zone. It also says he has a high pain threshold at the position, which is great. Usually, gives him in the mid to high 80s at injury. It's intriguing. Another guy, Amos Moore, durability problems, can't do it. Solomon Vickers. I don't know if I need an offensive lineman. I don't know if this team can afford to pass on the other positions that we have to add. Keyshawn Lake, no mention of injury, so that can't happen. Too much of a risk. Gene Elway spends hours in the weight room to avoid injuries. Intriguing, right? More of a man guy, which we're going zone. Earl Massey. Some GMs questioned his ability to play through injuries, so can't do it. I do think Pritchett. No mention on injuries again for Pritchett, so I can't bring myself to take that risk. Torrey Farr is a negative injury remark, can't do it. And then Devin Shields, his zone is crazy good, 4.35, 3.90, so he's fast, great in the zone. I feel like Devin Shields has to be the pick here. I know it's a little down the list here. We got a first-round prospect at the top, but I feel like Devin Shields. Too many injuries for Leland McKinney. I just feel Devin Shields. Devin Shields, second-round pick, cornerback, gives us a cornerback grouping of Josilio Hansen, Devin Shields, and then we got Coles also to be the nickel. So I feel like Shields is a no-brainer there. We're going to go ahead and move over here to the third. Now, again, I need to leave this draft with Darnay Stallings. He's going to convert to tight end for us. He's going to be a key player there. We'll see who's sitting at the top of the third round and if it makes sense to take him there. I don't know if Darnay Stallings, despite his 4th, 5th round tag, will be there at the first over pick in the 4th round, and it's not something I can take a risk on. So we're going to go ahead here to the third round, and we're going to see who's available. All right, we're on the clock in the third round. Amos Moore is here, 6'3", 210. He's still there from the first round. That shuttle's kind of scary. Not a very quick player and durability problems, so he's off my board. All right, and then Tyrell Minter. We have undisputed leader of the defense. No mention of injuries. It's kind of unfortunate. But again, we got to go to the wide receivers here. I've got to take a look. Boss Odom, fantastic name, great speed. We don't have anything about injuries here, though. Great awareness and catching on Ricky Buchanan. Yeah, nothing about injuries again, and that's such a risk, although I love the skill set. Drew Randall, got some size to him. Again, nothing about injuries. Reggie Nash, fast, pretty healthy. Okay, so Reggie Nash is a guy, but Blake's right. No, we got to go down here to Darnay Stallings, 6'4", 4.3440, 3.97 shuttle, 19 bench presses, leads the class, and then this guy, I just feel like he's going to be our tight end and going to be one of the premier weapons for this offense and for young quarterback Gene Hunter. So Darnay Stallings is the pick. I know it seems like a little bit of a reach, but I have to come away with this draft with that player. We're going to look to pick up some defenders here in the fourth. So, all right, we're on the clock in the fourth round. Amos Moore is still here. The fall from the first round continues, but again, durability issues. Not that fast. I'm going to pass. Jackie Maddox. I'm not loving the 4.7140. 4.58 here for Sammy Strickland, but again, 4.37 shuttle isn't all that adorable. I think we passed there. Dorsey Bridges, questionable heart when playing through minor injuries. No thanks. Bryant Mayberry spends hours in the weight room to avoid injuries. It's kind of fantastic. With a great zone coverage rating, great acceleration, 5'11", 193. Maybe he plays safety for us. I know it's, he could be like a deep safety, and then we could have O'Donnell come in and play closer to the line. I'm not against that. And he also has a positive injury remark, so that sounds good. Bryant Barnett. Nope, minor injury concerns on a running back with low carrying. No, thank you. Monte Curry, good pass protector. He's fine with injuries. Not bad. But we need to stay away from the offensive line. I think too many pieces on everywhere else. Vinny Mason is the guy that's on my list here for the fourth round. Very durable, which I love. Not that strong, quick and rangy pass defender. Roams the field like a defensive back, solid tackler. 4.55 40-yard dash with a 4.02 shuttle and 16 reps. 16 is kind of low, but as an outside linebacker who can get some pressure, I like that a lot there. Brett Kent, leader, makes big plays, very tough and durable, despite playing with reckless abandon. That sounds good. 4.52, 3.99. I kind of like this player here. He's got some man, got some zone, tackling, play recognition. Maybe Brett Kent. Do you go safety or do you go pass rushing outside linebacker? What else do we have at outside linebacker here? Let's see. Sorting by speed. Let's see what we have. Tay Carpenter is a 6th round prospect. Average tackler. Good range. Lack of strength. Not excited about the lack of strength, but the speed's nice. So maybe a Tay Carpenter. I don't like the size. Lack of strength kind of hurts. Donald Duncan. Low. That's a pretty bad web right there, and low potential. Oh man. Mo Wiley. I mean, you don't want Les Wiley, that's for sure. You probably want Mo. 24 bench reps on the 4.52 is good. We're in the 6th. I kind of like Mo Wiley in the 6th and taking Kent earlier. Oh man, Kenny Farr. Oh man, injury. Come on. No comment on that, but he's got great speed. He's got a better shuttle than Wiley with insane finesse moves and the potentials. Okay, so I think Kenny Farr maybe on the outside. Yeah, I think we go Kenny Farr later in the draft. So while we're here, I'm not against Mayberry. It's a good pick, but I think we're going to go and take team leader Strong defensive contributor, Brett Kent. Good zone, great play recognition, great tackling. Yeah, he just makes big plays, tough and durable. I like it. I like the leadership thing too. I'm all about a storyline here. So I think Brett Kent in the 4th. Hold on. Let's go to wide receiver one more time. Damon Hawkins is available. We can get Gino Abraham later. Who's got good catching out of this group that's left? Jameel Whitehead. That's a beautiful catching web right there. And we got Dan Bird. The name kind of kills me, but something to think about. I don't know. Jameel Whitehead will always be ready with great speed and great catching. So I think Jameel Whitehead later. I think we're going to go and take someone else to add some leadership to this young team. Brett Kent in the 4th round. All right, 5th round. Looking at running backs here. Ralph Howery. One tough kid, so injury-free. I like that. He will fumble, but again, his carrying is the highest of what's left. And these guys down here, Earl Maddox and William Wong, not feeling it. 4.34 speed, 4.02 shuttle. I think I like the tough Ralph Howery. Can you catch? No mention. At the top of the draft, a kicker. I'm not against a kicker. I don't think we'll take one here. Nate Maynard. Wow. Average injury, but great web otherwise. And we do have to come away with an outside linebacker who can do something as far as rushing the passer. All right, looking at Ralph Howery, I think he's got to be the pick here. 5th round, he's in that range, 4.34 speed, okay carrying, great injury, decent trucking. I need someone who can try to move the ball on the ground. I think Ralph Howery is going to be that player. So, Ralph Howery, 5th round, we'll take him there. That crosses running back off of the list. Let's see what the 6th round brings. We need someone at wide receiver still, and also need any type of defender. I look for the outside linebacker next, probably. Someone with some speed. Kenny Farr, right? Yeah, 7th round, Kenny Farr, 16 bench reps. So I think Kenny Farr is going to play the outside for us, which means, we need a defensive tackle. Brutal. Oh man, what did I do? Whoa. Injury concerns there, but durability is a concern. Average health concerns. Bench pressing looks the same for everyone. Oh man, we need a defensive tackle. Maybe we don't take a wide receiver. Ooh, ouch. All right, on the clock here in the 6th. Some 4th round players here, or one, Ted Wright. I'm not against the kicker, but I don't think this team can afford to do that, especially not trading down early. I do think we need someone who can get pressure, and we also need a wide receiver. But, a guy like Dan Bird, never injured, okay speed, probably has 88 speed, which is fine. Gino Abraham. Damon McGee. Oh, man. I would love to add some type of skill player here. And it's tough with a 4.29, 3.90 Gino Abraham. I think that's got to be the pick. Stretch the field a little bit. So Gino Abraham, wide receivers off the list here. Leaves just a 7th, which does kind of hurt. I think we do have to go far at middle linebacker, but then that leaves us very weak at defensive tackle. So let's see who's sitting on the board in the 7th round. All right, 7th round. Kicker's still there, but can't do it. Slow. Yeah, 4.82. He's got not that fast here. Farr still here. 4.53 speed. Nothing about injury, though. We have Trey Lucas, last one up. And that's still a good player, actually. Yeah, but as much as I would love to add a Trey Lucas... Alright, quick recap here, just so we're on the same page. We went ahead and took Gene Hunter first overall. Devin Shields went to us in the second round. Darnay Stallings in the third to play tight end. Brett Kent in the fourth. I think Ralph Howery in the fifth. And Gino Abraham in the sixth. So we've got wide receiver, tight end, quarterback, corner, safety, and running back. So it's got to be on the defensive side of the ball here. It's just, do you take the guy on the outside like Kenny Farr, with that great finesse move work, great block shedding? Yeah. 16 reps isn't great, but everything else about Kenny Farr is fantastic. That'll leave us weak at defensive tackle. But I'll try to make that work. Kenny Farr is going to be the pick there on defense, and that concludes the draft. All right. Now, players are signed. Let's take a look at the draft class. We've got Gene Hunter, 82 overall, a little lower for a first overall pick. 78 speed, 91 awareness is pretty good. His carrying is only 55, not great. 89 throw power, 83 throw accuracy, so those both stand out. That'll be 90 with our quarterback coach on the power, and then 84 accuracy. That's pretty good for a rookie. 75 injury, up to 85 with the training staff. So, 98 stamina, that's a good football player. That's a quarterback who can win you some games. Second round, cornerback Shields. Devin Shields, 74 overall, 91 on both speed, acceleration, 61 awareness, a little on the low side. 61 tackles, kind of low, 69 jumping, 84 pursuit, 86 zone coverage. That's why you do it, with 92 injury. So I love the zone, I love the injury. 84 pursuit's great, low tackling, but he is a corner, and then 91 speed. So Devin Shields, second round, gives us a pairing of Josilio Hansen. Devin Shields with Corn Coles as our nickel. I like that grouping. That's a solid grouping. In the third round, Darnay Stallings, 6'4", 229, 67 rated out of the gate here, but 92 speed, 87 acceleration, 68 strength, 89 elusiveness with 74 catching, 76 jumping at 6'4". 77 injury is actually a lot better than I thought it was going to be, so that brings him up to 87. I'm comfortable with that. And 70 stamina. So we're going to take Darnay Stallings. We're going to move him over to tight end. He can stick with 87. It says 52, but that considers his blocking ability too, and I'm not concerned about his blocking at all. He's going to run as our number 2 tight end, Mr. Cade Branch, with his fantastic blocking, will stay as our number 1. And we'll have Stallings play number 2 tight end and number 3 wide receiver. He'll move out and split out on certain plays. So third round pick, Darnay Stallings. In the fourth round, we added the leadership piece to the safety group, Brett Kent, 6'1", 217, 71 overall. He's going to get a tackling boost from Dick LeBeau, the head coach. 70 speed's low. 80 speed is low. 86 acceleration is not bad. 70 awareness as a rookie is fantastic. 89 jumping is great. 72 tackle. Zone is low at 61. Ouch. Thought it was better than that. 79 man, 70 pursuit. So 87 stamina, 96 injury. I like the player. He's slower than I thought he was going to be. And maybe I got too excited there in the fourth. That'd be a great spot for a defensive tackle. But 70 awareness is great. Hopefully his zone plays a little better than 61. 52 catching is also low. So, maybe I missed the mark on Kent in the fourth. Maybe I should have gone defensive tackle there. I guess we'll have to see how he does in the field. Ralph Howery went to us in the fifth. 92 speed, 94 acceleration. What's the injury? 85 injuries. So that gives us a 95 injury rating running back with 92 stamina. That's fantastic with 92 speed. Carrying 68. That's not terrible. I mean, it's not good, but it's not terrible, right? 73 trucking is good. What's his catching? 71 catching. Okay, so good. All right, I can use Ralph Howery as an option on this team. 92 stamina, great injury, great speed, a little rough on the carrying, okay catching. So Ralph Howery in the fifth will be our starter. Vernon Shade will spell him. In the sixth round, we took Gino Abraham. 61 overall rated, 94 speed, 84 acceleration. You're in a 3.90, but that's okay. 89 elusiveness, 69 carrying himself. What's your injury? 73, so 83. That's not great. All right, so this is a guy who 67 catching is kind of rough too. We're hoping he can just take the top off the defense, sneak in behind every now and then. Give us a deep threat with Hunter's arm and Darnay Stallings, and hopefully put some points on the board. So Gino Abraham in the 6th round, and then in the 7th round we took middle linebacker Kenny Farr. His injury is 92, fantastic, 82 stamina, 79 speed, 79 awareness, 72 acceleration is not great, 61 strength is kind of low, 67 tackle, 94 finesse move, 84 block shedding, 84 pursuit. So I'm going to bring him off the edge right behind Earl Hand pretty much all game and let him try to be disruptive in the backfield. Kenny Farr is going to be a real key to this defense. If Kenny Farr can't get pressure, we're going to struggle to slow down the passing game here. But that is the draft class. So Kenny Farr will play right outside linebacker and hopefully get some pressure. All right, take a look at the depth chart here as we enter our first year. Gene Hunter, team captain, quarterback, 82, solid player. Vernon Shade and Ralph Howery will split time at running back, with Howery being the starter. Brian Hicks at fullback, wide receiver Chester Harry, Alan Avery not going to contribute all that much. These two guys, I'm looking for Gino Abraham to make a huge impact, with Darnay Stallings playing the number 3 wideout spot as well as the number 2 tight end. Kate Branch is going to be the primary tight end / blocker on single tight end sets. Left tackle Timmy Starks, left guard Benji Jefferson, center Al Jennings, right guard Jimmy Moore, right tackle Chris Hudson. At left end, Bernie Lincoln is going to have to hold it down for us, with right end team captain Earl Hand being the other key piece along the defensive line. Lomas Hobbs at D tackle. 80 strength isn't terrible, but I'm not thrilled. I'm kind of scared. Hit power 80 is fine. 61 block shed. That's going to just, it's brutal. So we're going to really have to pinch the defensive line and hope to keep them out of the middle, because we're very weak at defensive tackle. Left outside linebacker Percy Santiago will be the starter. He'll be right behind Bernie Lincoln, with a block shedding difference here. I'm a big fan of 78 block shedding on this guy, so hopefully he can help set that edge. Middle linebacker Jeremy Irvin and I think David Lewis will be the starters there. Two pretty balanced skill sets. And then right outside linebacker Kenny Farr to bring us some pressure. Corner Josilia Hansen, Devin Shields, Corin Coles, definitely a strength of this team. Dusty Dwight and his brother Jamie Dwight are also there. That's fancy. Free safety Clarence Haynes, a stud, and strong safety Brett Kent. Again, I really hope this guy makes some plays for us. Passed on probably some better players there, especially a defensive tackle that I could have really used. But I love the player. Great injury, great stamina. Good pursuit, good tackling. I don't know. I mean, he's a lot better than Rich Rutledge. Anyway, Sidney Dunn at kicker, and then Mayor Culberson at punter. So that is the roster. Thanks for stopping by. Next episode, we're going to jump in to the first attempt at beating the computer on All-Madden with this slightly modified Cupcake roster. Have a great week, guys. See you next time.